Hola amigo, Rocky here from SpeakSpanishFaster.com. In today's video, we are going to attack ser versus estar. We are going to figure out when do we use which one. Now you've probably heard that you should use estar for temporary and ser for permanent. Now, while that may be true in some instances, I think if you only follow that rule, then it might lead to confusion, right? It might lead to some problems. So while you can think of it that way, I have a few better ways that I want you to think about it that can help you make less mistakes with ser versus estar. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. So first, to start, ser y estar both mean to be, but obviously we use them for different reasons. So one can say él está frío and one can say él es frío. What is the difference? Both of those sentences mean he is cold. Él es frío is more so his personality being cold, right? He's just a cold human. Oh, he's cold. He has no soul. Él es frío. Now, when I say él está frío, that means he's cold. Gotta put on a hoodie. He's cold. Él está frío. So ser pertains more to your identity. And this is why a lot of people say it's permanent. And I'll show you in a second why you don't always want to think of it as just being permanent. But ser, when we use it as a personality, that's why people think it means being permanent. Because él es frío, if he has a cold personality, he's probably going to be cold forever, but not necessarily. Over time, his personality could change, right? But in general, ser is used for personality. It's used for physical descriptions, like él es alto, like he is tall, es alto. It's also used when we're talking about like where you're from, and this kind of goes into identity. So if I say yo soy de los Estados Unidos, that means I'm from the United States. Él es de Colombia. We don't say él está de Colombia, right? We say él es de Colombia because ser represents identity. And I guess going back to ser, I'm saying él es, yo soy. Of course, the conjugations of ser, if you don't know, you should know. But if you don't know, it's soy, eres, es, somos, son. Okay, so those are I am, you are, he is, she is, you are, usted form es, and then we have nosotros somos, and we have ustedes son. So that's ser. Ser is for the identity, the personality of a person. And ser is also used when we talk about an event. So we could say la cita es mañana. So we don't say la cita está mañana. So if I have, la cita, like a date or appointment, let's say tomorrow I have a date with my doctor, appointment with my doctor, I could tell my girlfriend, oye, mañana es la cita con el médico. Tomorrow is the appointment with the doctor. I don't say mañana está la cita. Okay, so that's the difference. We use it for events that are going to happen. We could say el concierto es mañana. The concert is tomorrow. So that's how you want to use it. We also use ser when we're talking about time. Okay, so we could say, what time is it now? Son las 12. It's 12 o'clock. It's noon. Son las 12. We don't say están las 12 or está las 12. We don't say that. We say son las 12. Telling time is a whole different beast in its own, because some people will say, well, how come you don't say es las 12 or whatever? I'll do another video later about telling time, but just know whenever you're telling time, the time about something, you use ser. So we've covered ser for personality. We've covered ser for, identity, personality when talking about time, when talking about events. We also use ser when we talk about our profession. Yo soy abogado. I'm a lawyer. Yo soy profesor. I'm a teacher. So ser is used whenever you talk about your profession. And again, this is where it's confusing if you would say ser is only used for permanent and estar is only used for temporary, because time changes, right? But we use ser for time. Your profession could change. Today I could be un maestro, but tomorrow I could be an abogado. Like I could get a new job and be a lawyer. Now, obviously, that's probably not possible, but your jobs can change, right? Today, yo soy estudiante. Mañana, yo soy abogado. Today, I'm a student, but tomorrow, I graduate and then I'm a teacher. So your profession is temporary, like it can change, but we still use ser when talking about profession. Now let's hop into estar. Going back to the example I use, él está frío. He feels cold. He is cold. Estar is used for feelings. Estar can also be used for location. And estar can be used like when you are doing something, like the current state of doing something. So again, it could be used for feelings, physical state, and emotional state. Yo estoy frío, yo estoy enfermo, yo estoy cansado. You don't say yo soy cansado or yo soy enfermo. Like if you're sick today, you don't say yo soy enfermo. You say yo estoy enfermo. So, but again, if it was my personality, like if I'm a sick mofo, if I'm a sick person, yo soy enfermo, then that you could probably use soy there. But in general, when we're talking about our current feeling, our current emotional state, being sick or not, the physical state, emotional state, we're going to use estar. So estoy enfermo. Again, estoy cansado. That's when we use estoy. Again, we could use it for location. So I don't want you to think of this as an event. So la cita es mañana. That was when we used ser, when we said, the event when it is. But when we talk about where it is, the location of the event, that's when we use está. So we could say, la cita está en la oficina del médico or whatever. So that's when you use estar, when we use location. Yo estoy en mi casa. Yo estoy en casa de mi tío. I'm in my uncle's house. Or you could say, no, I'm not with her right now. Ella está en la tienda. I'm not with her right now. She's in the store. So estar is used for location. It's used for your current states. Again, emotional, physical, any of that stuff. And it's also used for current state of being. Like, what are you doing? Like, yo estoy caminando. So I am walking. Yo estoy trabajando. I am working. Él está durmiendo. He is sleeping. So we don't say yo soy caminando, right? We don't use ser for current states of doing something. We use estar for that. So estar and then trabajando, cantando, singing, doing a lot of different things. So those are the main differences between ser and estar. Now, I'm probably forgetting something. I'm sure there are, ands, ifs, or buts to every single rule. But if you use these general rules where we have ser is more for the personality, profession, and stuff like that, instead of just saying, oh, this is one is for permanent, one's for temporary, because we could see things change a lot. So when you go into the mind state where, okay, estar is for, physical condition, the condition of their current state, a mental state, what they're currently doing right now. It's not so much as just being temporary, but it's more of the emotion, the state that they're in right now, where ser is more of, it's not necessarily permanent because time changes. Like, yes, right now it's 12:30, but in 1 minute it'll be 12:31, but we will always use ser when we tell time. Yes, you're a teacher right now, but tomorrow you might be something else. So we use ser for that as well. So again, there are rules and everything that can change, that might be a little more confusing, and maybe I didn't cover it today. And if there's still something you're not quite sure on, please comment below so I can help you out with it. If I can help you out, hopefully we can. Again, so it can be confusing. It's not something you're going to get overnight, but the more you use it, the more you hear Spanish, then the more you're going to be accustomed to knowing the difference subconsciously without having to think about it. And that's the real goal with Spanish, right? It's knowing without having to think about it. And the only way to do that is to try to immerse yourself as much as possible in the language, hear as much as possible, and just continue to study and study and study every single day and continue to improve. And of course, you can get our free Lost in Translation training that will help you with your Spanish. Just click the first link in the comments. I'll pin it there. That's going to take you to a page. You just put in your first name, your email, and I'll email you our free Lost in Translation training that's going to show you our secret proprietary method for helping you speak Spanish faster than ever before. If you enjoyed the video, do me a big favor, hit the thumbs up for me, comment below, let me know what else you want me to talk about. Last but not least, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel, turn on notifications so you never miss another video. Until next time,